Not live. Now we're live. Bet. All right. Yeah. Let's get right into it. Let's get right to these videos. Dude, my bonnet look fucked up. My camera just freeze. That is genuinely fucking insane. I guess that's the type of stream we're having today. Hold on. Give me a second while I unplug it and replug it in. That's fucking ridiculous. And I've already had dropped frames. What the fuck is going on? Oh, I just almost fucked up my monitor. Oh no, okay. That error was just something else. It wasn't a dropped frame error. That's great. Okay, and we're back. But I'm still zoomed in. Let me zoom it out. Zoom it out. We'll go auto capture. Just let it capture whatever the fuck you want to capture. There we go. Alright, yeah. One react. We finna hop on the game. Let's get into it. Investigating America's Richest Pastor by Kenneth Copeland. Investigating America's Richest Pastor, Kenneth Copeland by Tommy G.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
No one's ever
Creepy
seen
ass
this
nigga.
is his original presentation to raise money from the 70s.
Where the fuck they get it at?
I think he started with good intentions, but I think power and money went to his head.
We're at a gate here.
Oh boy!
Where the fuck are they?
Kenneth Copeland is one of the darkest individuals I've ever come across.
Security?
Where's that badge? Just by the way. Off the property. You want to see this? Off the property. Look, you can flash your gun.
In that magnificent name, the name of Jesus, amen.
Why they protecting them so much? They know you on bullshit.
Kenneth Copeland. You might recognize him for his interview on Inside Edition.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not.
It's 1,000%
And don't you
what I
ever
know
say
from.
did.
He's the guy that claimed to defeat COVID-19.
COVID-19!
He speaks in tongues, and he claims he will live to 120.
I will live and preach this gospel till I'm 120 years old.
And he's not joking. And would you know, folks, that Kenneth
What the
Copeland
fuck is he
America's
wearing?
richest pastor, with estimates of his net worth ranging wildly from $300 million.
Was he trying to be the
nearly
next
$1
pope or
billion.
some shit?
And today, we're diving into a series of disturbing allegations concerning Copeland and his church, Eagle Mountain Ministries. Allegations like that he allegedly used church donations to build a private oil empire that rakes in millions. That he promised his donors a Christian retirement community, but instead, all that money allegedly went to things like this. So we flew to Dallas, Texas to infiltrate
$10 million
Kenneth Copeland's
jet
empire
and a
expose
$7
the
million
truth of his
mansion?
ministries. We teamed up with Nate of the religion business, who has dedicated the last few years of his life to exposing people like Kenneth. From standoffs on his private tarmac to uncovering his private hunting grounds, we show you the side of Kenneth Copeland that he
Private
spent
hunting
his entire
grounds.
life trying to conceal.
Something you should know before we get into the episode: we have completely
No, we
restocked.
know. At least it's an ad for him. W disclaimer.
7:30 right now, it's Sunday morning in Dallas, Texas. In about 3 minutes, we have a guy named Nate pulling up who's part of something called the religion business. He's made it his job to bust out the nonsense that's happening in nonprofits and churches around the country and even the world. Nate suspects that Kenneth Copeland is actually a fraudster. allegedly, and that this is a man that we need to investigate, look into, and make sure we understand what is happening with all the money flowing through his church, all the broken promises, and how is a pastor worth nearly $1 billion?
What is up, brother? Good to meet you too,
you?
man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I've got a really big 30 by like 40-inch map of his property, so we'll block it out. I think.
Scoped out, it sounds.
Oh yeah, we have this place down to the roads.
Down to the roads. That nigga's a weirdo.
Appel, TV and film director, and my mission is to bring accountability into the religious institutions here in America and the world. I was raised a Christian, like raised in the megachurch scene, and I realized this whole system is a house of cards and it needs to be taken apart and be rebuilt.
Kenneth Copeland is one of the darkest individuals I've ever come across.
Justin Peters is a world-renowned preacher who uses a deep understanding of biblical scripture to expose the lies of prosperity gospel leaders like Kenneth Copeland. There is perhaps no Christian better suited to be an expert witness on the teachings of Copeland than him.
I honestly believe that Kenneth Copeland is demon-possessed.
I think he started with good intentions, but I think power and money and the ease in which people are manipulated went to
That nigga
his
do
head.
look weird. I
This
can
is
see him
Sarah.
being
She
possessed.
worked for the Copelands for years, and after she could no
Look
longer
like something
take
keeping
it,
him
she
alive.
chose to leave the church, even though she knew this would mean being cut off from her parents, who to this day still work there.
We were not allowed to talk to him or approach him in any way. He would come in with like fully armed security guards, which is a little
The
weird
fuck?
when you're going into your own business.
If he's supposed to be a pastor, why the fuck he need so much protection?
We've been looking at Kenneth Copeland for several decades.
This is Pete and Barry. They are private investigators who have spent decades looking into
Decades?
Kenneth Copeland, and I was shocked by some of the things they had dug up about Kenneth.
When my boss, Ole Anthony, sat down at breakfast with him in the 1970s, Kenneth Copeland ordered pancakes. He handed them back to the waitress and said, "God doesn't want me to eat cold pancakes." And everybody thought he was joking, and they looked at him, and everybody looked back and forth. He was serious. He was dead serious.
Kenneth Copeland has been raising money since the late 70s for the revival capital of the world, which is this. This is his sanctuary. So for 44 years, no one's ever seen this. This is his original presentation to raise money from the 70s. He used to mail this to people, to millions of people in the US, and ask for money.
There was never any real plan
They
or
said
any
people-
real push.
They said people haven't seen him for 40
This is
something years.
Melissa, another former Copeland ministry employee, and she spent
The
6
fuck?
years with the church doing things like admin work, marketing, and ministerial relations.
Kenneth Copeland planned
Wonder
to
why
build
he stopped
6
sending it
things on
out.
this property. A ministry facility, which is the church building, the headquarters, his Kenneth Copeland and Eagle Mountain Church's headquarters, a resort hotel, paying members to use, the Kingdom Park, a beautiful park to use, his radio and TV center, and Wisdom Heights, which is a retirement community. So you give to me, and you will be able to live in our retirement community, and all the while, you'll get to come and watch broadcast TVs, our recordings, you'll get to live and enjoy the revival capital of the world.
Part of the revival capital of the world was actually finished, but most of it was.
So he's scheming.
Was not.
How are we going to penetrate this operation?
Main roads here. There's a railroad crossing here. We're going to come in. This is the main highway right here. This is the gate. There's sometimes a police officer stationed here, but the gate's open because there's going to be a couple hundred people pouring through here.
Do they have this police paid off? Like, are they paying this guy to watch?
They do have private security for the whole property. So we're going to come right through here. These are all the parking lots for the church. You're going to walk into the building. So there's a gate right here. So this is the private road. It's a dirt road that runs all the way here.
Okay.
All the way here, around here, around here.
The fuck?
And we can either jet down
You got a
to
private airstrip?
the tarmac and come around to his house, or we could take this back road and kind of walk through here. But I say we just stick to the
Tarmac, dude.
The tarmac it is.
We fly down here, catch
God
that.
damn, that's a huge fucking
boom,
piece of
yeah,
land.
Get to his house.
Before I went to Copeland's church, I first wanted to donate to him so I could be a paid member and feel like I had a right to be in the places I would be investigating. And as soon as I did donate, he began to send me a barrage of emails. In his very first message, he offered to heal my body, eliminate my debt, and restore broken relationships. What a nice guy. The Copeland sent many emails, and one theme that kept popping up was donations. They used Bible verses to encourage giving with phrases like sow the seed, which really means send them money, and receive your anointing, which is allegedly what happens when God notices that you've donated to the Copeland.
If you sow a seed to Kenneth Copeland, you now have obeyed this divine law that says you will get back what you've given. You've given to a man of God. And so he justifies it because, hey, all believers should be healthy and wealthy.
They also promise to pray for you every single day if you become a partner of theirs, which leads me to wonder, did they turn pay for play into pay for pray? And one other tactic that stands out is what some call strategic generosity. You see, the Copelands offer you free little promotional items like an audio file from Gloria or a welcome box with their magazine of them in it. And some say that these small gifts are given with the intention that it will trigger a sense of obligation for you to send more money to them. And it's a clever cycle.
Like,
you
full
give
of
to them, you
Botox
get
type
blessed from
shit.
God, the Copelands get your money, and somehow faith becomes a financial transaction.
What are the odds they're gonna get police there?
I bet security's gonna catch us before we even get there.
I think we need to change our attire.
I agree. Let's get ready for church.
I grew up going to, in what was at the time, one of the biggest mega churches in the country, Willow Creek Community Church. Thousands and thousands of people in a huge auditorium.
Damn.
There's escalators in the place, restaurant, cafeteria, bookstore, basketball
What
courts.
the fuck?
It was amazing. I've never had that, like, oh, I have a spiritual connection to God, and so I fell away from the church as I got older. What do you think it is that makes someone continue to give money to a guy that already has private jets, a 19,000 square foot house, and much, much more?
The poor and the sick are desperate.
Because people want to believe desperately in the miracles.
This is a way for me to grow my bank balance. This is a way for me to become richer.
This is Melissa. She's a Christian YouTuber who uses her platform to discuss theology, expose false teachings, and help people spot spiritual deception. Here was her take on Copeland.
What you give, you will get back. And if you can teach people that, if you can shut down their ability to even understand what the Bible actually teaches about it, and their ability to critically think, then that's an easy given that I believe that.
Morning.
So turn left.
If we're trying to get a Bible before the service, is that the Bible store over there? The bookstore?
Oh, the bookstore? Yeah, just go in the main entrance and it's right to your left.
Thank you, sir. So they're a decently well organized unit.
He knew exactly where everything was. He's not even one of the main niggas. I mean, shit, he might be, but didn't seem like it.
This is the moments we live for in this world.
Dude, this is all years in the making, really. Okay, guys, I'll see you. I'm gonna go to the bookstore. How you doing, sir?
Morning, how you doing?
Oh, thank you very much. Good morning. How you doing? How you doing? Is there a way to buy a Bible right now, or no? Is the bookstore closed? Oh, bummer. I can go get my Bible out of the car. I was hoping to buy one here. Thank you.
Top of the morning to you.
Say can't buy one now.
Good morning, how are you? How are you? Dressed in my Sunday best, I went into the service to get a feel for how the Copelands do church. I knew going in that Kenneth had an almost ridiculous amount of armed security. I mean, just look at how they responded to this woman who asked questions about scripture.
Can I ask you, do you think it's always God's will for you to be healthy and wealthy?
Yeah.
So how do you answer 1 Timothy chapter 6 when God says that those that desire to become rich fall into all kinds of temptations?
Actually, I'm going to get you somebody that can answer all your questions for you.
Okay. That's the person you said can help me, security?
Yes.
You don't want to be questioned? Why not Kenneth Copeland? Because he doesn't speak to people, does he?
I'm sure of course he speaks to people, but that's where they have staff pastors to meet and answer any questions.
So we went in incognito with spy glasses, trying to stay under the radar before we left the church to storm Kenneth's compound.
One of the things that was very much emphasized was the fact that there's cameras around and you've got to watch what you say because people are listening.
Describe the volunteer culture in the church.
It is very unhealthy. I also volunteered there for a while. I would definitely call it labor trafficking because they expect you to do everything for free and choose that over your actual job.
What? Everything for free? Even a bus driver?
You can't stay, well, that's fine. You can put that in the offering basket. He's not in it for ourselves. Our victory is.
You might be wondering, where is Kenneth? And the truth is, Mr. Copeland is rarely seen preaching at Eagle Mountain these days, and his daughter Terry has more or less taken over as lead pastor.
Where the fuck is he at?
That would let their partners know this is what we spend on missions, this is what we spend on employees, you know, that type of thing. And when George and Terry took over, they decided they did not want any transparency at all whatsoever. So even that, even percentages, not even with numbers, none of that is
nothing is shown.
Was not available to the public.
As
That's
I sat in
fucked
my
up.
chair, maybe I was being too cynical, but it felt like the entire sermon was laced with marketing pitches to get people to tithe, which is the biblical word for giving 10% of your income.
If you'll fill that out, put that either in the offering basket when it comes, put your prayer request on there, and that way we have your name.
We thank you for the ability to grow in wealth.
You see, Kenneth and other prosperity gospel preachers have morphed tithing into this weird formula that essentially, if you give money to them, an anointed prophet of God, that it will somehow translate into God then deciding
Them
to multiply
sneezes just
your
beat
income.
my
Now, some of you
ass.
may have
What
been
the
expecting a
fuck?
bigger auditorium. And what you have to realize is most of Kenneth's audience is watching through
over
TV, hence why they
here,
call him
bro.
a
If the
televangelist.
camera don't
And in his
fuck-
church, he had dozens of ushers who also double the security, many of them probably armed, but most importantly, their job was to approach people sitting in the back and bring them up to pack the front of the church. The reason? To make the audience look filled to capacity for the people watching on their TV back home.
The longer I
Damn,
was there,
what if they ain't want
started
to?
limiting bathroom breaks. You're not allowed
Limiting
to approach
bathroom
certain people.
breaks?
You're expected to all act the same, dress the same. They expected all the body shapes to be the same, telling people they were poorly representing Kenneth because they
That's
were
crazy.
a little bit overweight.
In a most important time.
They definitely told her
We
that.
need to know how to vote.
A quick note, folks, there's something called separation of church and state. One way that churches keep their tax-exempt status is by avoiding direct political endorsements. But here at Eagle Mountain, you see classes aimed at educating their members on how to vote. And Kenneth Copeland himself makes his political leanings pretty clear. Here where he mocks Joe Biden.
The media said Joe Biden's president. Ha 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 ha.
And here where he attends a Trump rally.
I copied his suit.
To some, this raises a fair question. Should the IRS be paying closer attention to this kind
Yes.
of activity?
People urge
Yes, the
people
fuck
to vote.
they should.
You're training people to properly vote, and then in private, wink, wink, it's for a certain, generally Republican candidate, but not always. They can't go after that particular organization's tax-exempt status unless they actually have film of the pastor saying on film to vote for actually a person.
We snuck out halfway through the service so we could attempt to infiltrate Copeland's compound while his security team was focused on the people inside the church. Like in some ways, it's a very
And the second they got up, they was watching them niggas. They ain't no like just going randomly get up halfway through the service. Nah, they're watching you.
church service. Their music was excellent.
Yeah.
But then it almost felt like everything was like an infomercial to like go back into giving.
Yeah.
Bible verse, direct you back into giving.
Yeah.
We see in a lot of these preachers is that they'll say, the Lord told me a number of you need to give $1,000, things like that.
Ushers, close the doors. Seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight.
I don't for a minute believe God is speaking to them like that.
Then nigga ain't say shit about
nothing
40,000.
like
What the
that in
fuck?
the Bible.
I really don't think you could listen to a single sermon by Kenneth Copeland or one of these other prosperity preachers where money is not, if not the focus, at least mentioned.
Churches are not required to file 990s. Some provide a church financial statement or an audited financial statement to the donors. Sometimes they'll just have a brief summary and an annual report.
Brother in arms of the Copeland Ministries. Let's freaking get it, okay?
Get it. It's gonna be fun, boys.
While everyone else is worshiping in full swing, we're using that cover to get in here as deep as we can.
So if you go to the right here, there's an oil platform.
Oil field.
The fuck? He got oil fields on his property?
Parishioners were paying for this beautiful farmland off of the. Oh, we got a gate. Oh, there another way around?
Oh, it's opening.
Oh, automatic gate.
Boys! I think
That
Kenneth
shit.
might need to raise some money to patch some of the concrete.
Copeland's private airstrip. The airstrip is what's finna get flagged. I feel it. They definitely got shit watching. People watching the airstrip.
Let's see if this gate opens. It's a parsonage.
It's a parsonage.
Oh my gosh.
It's opening.
This is the
I
road
wonder
that
if
leads
all
to
the gates are
Kenneth
automatic just because they don't think anybody will go through there.
Almost a billionaire's compound that he's gotten from church money, and to be behind enemy lines right now, driving up to his house, is an independent journalist's dream. I have a hunch it's gonna be like the first three.
No, this one needs a keypad.
Sick.
So, should we just hang out here and wait for someone?
They just gonna wait for somebody? The fuck?
Folks, you should know that on this mega mansion you see, Kenneth Copeland allegedly pays no property tax at all. That's because
No
this
property
house is claimed
tax?
as a parsonage, which is a property that the church owns and provides for their pastor, which makes sense for most American pastors, where the average salary is a modest $52,000 a year.
I ain't
and
seen
thereby
you in a
provides
minute. How you
housing for
been?
their pastors living a life of sacrifice. But should these tax breaks be used by the ultra wealthy like Copeland, who for years now has avoided paying what should be a six-figure tax bill? You tell me in the comments.
Have you ever been to his parsonage, the house?
No, I never have.
Has it has many employees?
Never?
Not a lot. I think the people in housekeeping, in maintenance and housekeeping, security, all of that. But no, but the people that go down and decorate for Christmas.
I would assume that the church paid for this, yes.
He has a greenhouse over there.
I've
Presumably
been
on the
good. How
church
about
side.
you?
There's a private hunting grounds. This is a playground for a man. I'm trying to see how this all lines up, because when Jesus walked into a temple and saw that people were buying and selling and making money in the temple, he flipped over the table and cracked the whip and said, "Get out of my house." How is this even possible to interpret the scripture in this way?
I honestly don't know. Like the mental gymnastics it takes Kenneth Copeland and his congregation to correlate Jesus or any of the apostles to Kenneth Copeland is mind-numbing. Can we call the church and ask the gate code?
It's your first time calling him?
It is, yeah.
So how can I pray with you today?
Oh, I would love to meet Kenneth Copeland. Is there a way to meet him? I was just really praying to be able to sit with him and get some wisdom from him. So I've been praying for a while to be able to meet him. I've reached out to him a few times and he hasn't responded. But yeah, we're at the gate to his house, but it's not open.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure how that works. I think the best thing that you can do is come to the church.
Oh no, we're already by his house.
We're at
They're gonna have security pull up so fucking quick.
Gates opened for us, and I see that as an act of God, to be honest. Like he wanted us to meet him in his house, but just the third gate's it takes a passcode, and I don't have it. Do you have that passcode?
You would have to go to the church.
Oh, okay. We've all become members.
I donated $69 this morning. I'm
You
a
donated
member.
69. That's a big number. Good for you for your first donation.
A biblical number, some might say. So we've been praying for the gate code, but apparently
it's another road, but it'll have the same height.
God's busy right now.
100%.
So we're
Oh, you
gonna
got
go
a
to
girl
the
now?
private
That's what's
tarmac
up.
that he has, named after himself.
Finding a new job.
And we're gonna further explore. Kenneth.
You still got it, or you quit,
Oh, Kenneth.
or you got
When we
fired?
discovered there was this huge mansion on the property, church members would call us when it came out in the news and said, we didn't even know about his mansion on the property. We've had informants tell us that it's got a sweeping spiral staircase.
The church
like you
members
would
that
see
even
in
know?
the old movie Gone with the Wind.
Still got it.
It's got
That's
a
what's up.
bridge across
I'm also looking for another
the
job.
living room.
I feel you.
And the Kenneth Copeland's closet.
Bro, I took one day
is
off.
approximately 30.
One day, mind you, and I told these niggas about this day that I needed off like 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, and they told me I would have it off. And then today, Monday, I told them, I said, hey, y'all scheduled me to work Friday, and I wasn't supposed to. They took me off the schedule for that day, and then now my next week schedule is 3 days. I only got 3 days next week. So I feel like they're trying to act some type of way because I told them to take me off the schedule because I wasn't supposed to be on there.
5 feet
They being
by
petty.
20 feet, something like that. Bigger than most
So
people's
I gotta find a new
living
job too.
This is just a man's playground is really what we're on right now. People donated money so they could have a retirement home, a park, this biblical paradise in a way. They believe in this message that this was going to be the city for us to come and gather and celebrate Jesus and the Lord.
I've been doing
His love and
DoorDash
mercy.
recently
Instead,
too.
It's just some rich guy's playground. What kind of letters would you get from people?
I haven't been streaming at nighttime for real because I get off of work and then go do DoorDash.
Of like, I can't pay my rent. I just lost my job. Like, here's a copy.
And then I gotta wake up and stream before I go to
my
work
rent
or
for
some
this
shit.
month?
And how often would he help these people?
Hell yeah.
Hardly ever. On average,
Sometimes.
I would touch.
Does it?
probably
Sometimes.
8,000 pieces of
Sometimes.
mail
You gotta get
month.
like a
I
good
may
day.
saw
Like the
3 or
weekends
4
pay
that got
decent.
helped.
But like other than that,
No, total.
5 weeks?
And the
Hell
2.5
yeah,
years?
good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Good shit.
Copeland's private tarmac.
Every time I get like 2 weeks in or like a weekend and stop. But yeah, it's pretty decent. The most I done made so far was like $40-some in like 2 hours.
Distribution. Like you look at the revival capital of the world. Well, he's been raising money.
And then I done also had some ass nights too,
years. The distribution's always
where I only made like $10
What kind of money the church was
in
bringing
like an hour, and I just call it at that
I can't give you like
point.
an exact number, but I know they did several.
Like today, I was
fundraisers
out for like an
a year
hour
that
ish, and I
$10
made
million.
like an hour and a
I think
half. I made
last
like
I
25.
heard, like Kenneth's personal net worth was like 760
Job at a hotel.
million.
He's had planes since the 70s.
I heard them
And
jobs
he's
be
had
good but
jets since
stressful.
The 90s, and perhaps
If you
since
like the cleaners and shit,
late
but I don't
80s.
know about the
But
other
now
shit.
He's got 2 private jets. They're owned by the ministry, and
2 private jets?
twin-engine turboprop aircraft that are also owned by the ministry.
Okay, that's what's up. I see you. Is that a lot for you?
for his parishioners?
Cause I know Cali minimum wage
Which
high.
got turned into a high
Your minimum
fancy
wage probably more than what I make right now, to be
And
honest.
then Wisdom Heights, which is an elderly community for people that donated.
It's 25 to 30 out here,
People
are
that-
high as
some
fuck.
parents donated hundreds of thousands of dollars thinking that they would be able to retire here.
So, do we have any proof that he actually did try and build the hotel? or the
Minimum in
park,
Cali is
or the resort?
$16.50.
The retirement community
Damn,
is,
I
don't
make
think there's
17.
any proof that he ever tried to build that.
I'm
The
50 cent
hotel,
above y'all minimum
never
wage.
tried. I've never seen blueprints. There was never sewer or water or electricity brought into the property to be able to build something
I don't
like
even
that.
know our
The
minimum
park,
wage out here.
There's a frisbee golf
When I started
course.
working a few years ago
Yeah,
was
he raised or
fine.
generated $700+
25.
million. A frisbee golf course, I guess, is a you could say it's a park.
Who are you guys?
We're all tithers. We were just trying to see the parsonage because we've never seen any documentation on it.
Why are you out here?
Our minimum wage is $12.48 an hour.
You cannot be out here. This is an active strip.
No, it's not. We know it's not. No, this is
And
actually
tipped
not-
employees will see tipped employees make $6 an hour minimum wage.
I'm aware. Listen, that doesn't matter. What matters is that you are on a private airstrip on private property right now, and I need you to leave immediately.
5 years hotel experience
If you
is
don't
crazy.
leave, you're going to be criminally trespassed by the police. Get in your vehicles and leave now.
No, I want to ask you about the Resort Hotel, Wisdom Heights, and the Kingdom Park. Is the Kingdom Park the frisbee golf thing?
Hey, that's a work in progress. So just don't worry
For
about
44 years?
It's a joke to you.
No, I think the joke is a guy pretending to be like the power of Jesus.
125,000.
Christ, falling, while all the promises he made seem to not.
That is crazy. That is fucking crazy.
Just go right out this gate.
We're going to go out
What
this
would we
gate,
be
guys.
doing though?
We're going to head to the church right now.
Okay, pal.
We're just a couple parishioners. Yeah.
Off the property now.
The fuck is that? Is that a fake sheriff badge?
You want to see this? Off the property.
Whoa, you just flash your gun? We want to see your badge.
No,
You
see
did.
Jack. Crap.
You did.
Get off the property.
Okay. Are you
What did you
police?
flash at us? You literally threatened us with your gun, dude.
Okay, look, he's doing it again. That's
No,
crazy.
I'm not.
We're unarmed. You are. Put your other arm up.
You
We're
do
unarmed.
not belong on the property. How did you get on the property?
There's literally gates that you pull up to and they open.
No, there's not.
There it is.
How much do
Yes,
you
there
want to
is.
bet we rolled the whole time?
It's an airport hotel. I had a airport hotel.
Really, guys?
They tried to get me an
What are you
interview
doing out here?
Look, the church.
for like
Remember,
2 weeks straight, but that was like right when I started this job,
Let me show my
and I wasn't trying to do
I
it.
gave Kenneth Copeland $69.
And what's it called?
A considerable sum. Great. Doing that.
I mean, I wasn't trying to do it, and then when I was finally trying to do it, it was too late. I gave my interview to somebody else. I was sick, but it was an airport one, and I'm a felon, so you know I can't be working at the airport anyways.
And then you're on the runway.
We'll get out the runway.
Yeah, we'll meet at the church.
It was just wasting my goddamn time. I applied to like every fucking Marriott on the Marriott website,
Kills him.
That was how to cook openings.
Oh shit. You know.
It's crazy. I had interviews at a couple too. Old job at the Italian restaurant. Sounds fun.
No, I didn't.
What'd you flash
Yes, he
at us?
did.
Shut the camera
What'd
off.
you flash at us?
It is my badge for the job.
Can you show me that?
No, I already showed it to you.
But
And
where
actually,
now?
that's probably more dangerous than a weapon.
What'd you flash at us?
Wait, what do it say? What do it say? I want to see. When he's starting.
First aid a police
Shit.
No, I didn't.
What'd you
I
flash
didn't.
at us?
Shut the camera
What'd
off.
you flash at us?
It is my badge for the job.
Can you
I couldn't read the words.
I already
It was too small.
Actually, that's probably more dangerous than a weapon, isn't it?
What?
A camera?
That's true.
What?
I know it is.
Is this another?
Okay, guys, what do you want to ask?
We were going with you to the church, but you pulled over.
Yeah, I did. You noticed that.
These are the 6 pillars that Kenneth used to raise all his money. The resort hotel he promised, he did not build. Kingdom Park, he did not build. He built the radio and TV center. He did not build Wisdom Heights.
Where are we going?
I'm saying he committed fraud.
Allegedly. I think of all places you'd expect transparency, you would want it in a church. But the truth is, how KCM spends the donations it receives is something only they know, because churches are not required to file the Form 990, which is the financial disclosure form that other nonprofits must submit to the IRS. And the religion Kenneth claims to represent features its main character Jesus doing things like humbly riding a donkey into town and flipping over a table when men tried
What the
making money
fuck?
in the church, leading many to question, in what way does Kenneth's lavish lifestyle resemble anything remotely
I ain't never seen
biblical?
that picture
And
before.
Furthermore, how is Kenneth allowed to enrich himself while completely being shielded by a tax code that was designed to protect genuine religious work?
The IRS has used 14-point criteria to categorize churches. And in the
14
80s, they were
points?
able to successfully prosecute a number of organizations that claimed to be churches that weren't, because they didn't have a membership that regularly attended the church. And nowadays, the IRS doesn't even want to investigate churches, and so Copeland's ministry is one of those that doesn't file a 990. So nobody knows. His donors don't know what's going on.
How is the IRS not looking into him?
That
So
is
he
a
just has
good
a
question. I remember back in 2008,
unlimited money glitch.
Senator Chuck Grassley attempted to do that. You know, in the United States, we have
no
freedom
taxes.
of religion, and I'm grateful for that. But within, underneath that umbrella, you've got a wide berth there. If it's my religion to say, if you give me $1,000, God will heal you of cancer. If you're foolish enough to believe that, well, that's my religion. You agreed to it, so I'm covered. You can't come after me legally. You can't sue me.
So what are you here to do?
I'm here to point out a fraud.
Yeah, that's not going to
Could I say my religion is streaming? And then, what's it called? And then be tax free?
happen. Oh, I've got way more than this. I've got
I'm
more
sure you
data.
Nah,
than-
Dad Jet is crazy.
You've
wanted to
got
go
everything
see.
you need.
Love you too, bro. Have a good
If I
one.
want to talk to George or Kenneth.
Okay, that's not going to happen today.
The only people that ever
Please
call me
tell
are
him to
lawyers.
shut the camera off.
I can't. That's his job.
Well, the next
We wanna
step is
talk.
for you to vacate
The police
property.
pulled
I'm a
up?
paying member.
Yeah, I know. $69 or
No,
whatever
that was
it
Tommy.
Tommy. Okay.
$69.
Whatever.
Yeah, but we pay for it.
I can show you the
They can
receipt. I
actually-
paid $69 to this church.
And as of right now, you guys.
What the fuck do they pull out?
After this, you guys will no longer be allowed on this property.
For how long?
Extending up to a year.
Up to a year?
A year?
Can we mark the calendar and visit you in a year?
I think it
That guy did flash a badge and his gun at us. Okay.
I identified myself.
We won't press charges if you invite us back into the church right now.
Really, you're going to negotiate that on camera?
I think that's fair.
Okay, so hop in your cars and head out.
See you next year, guys.
W negotiation.
See you next year. Have a blessed day. Thank you. Well, boys, we got our money's worth this Sunday. I think there's probably a lot of good things that happened at that church. You could tell there was a tight-knit community.
And we still got
There's a lot of
9
love
minutes
in the
left,
air.
too.
I'm not taking that away from these guys. What we are talking about, though, is when it's that much money on the line, it's fair to know how that's being allocated, how that's being spent, and why things that he promised to people. Like, there are old ladies at their house that donated absurd sums of money to this guy. And
I wonder if he gonna
nothing
find
ever
some.
came to fruition. Hey, I'm gonna build you a retirement home. Nothing.
In an effort to get both sides of the story, we reached out to Kenneth Copeland multiple times for an interview, but similar to Scientology, he typically does not do interviews because the results tend to be disastrous. But in the interest of fairness, I wanted to highlight the good
How did that
Kenneth
one
Copeland
bitch from
Ministries
Inside
or
Edition get that
KCM
interview?
has done, and it was actually harder to find than I expected. I read through their 2024 report, and here were 3 major things that I found they celebrated. They distributed 84 million ministry materials, meaning things like books, CDs, and digital downloads. The report claims that they brought over 7 million people to salvation in Jesus Christ. And I learned that KCM
That's a
has
lot of
very
people.
strong ties with Israel and highlights donating surveillance equipment, security cameras, and tactical gear to their Israeli partners. Interesting. And after reading the report, most of KCM's charitable giving seems to be in the form of things like Copeland branded Bibles, sermon audio, and even a Copeland Christmas album, leading some to ask, is this really charity or is this just self-promotion disguised as ministry? I'm here on the scene with private investigators.
Oh, there's more. I thought the video, I just said there was 9 minutes left and I thought it ended.
He came across the funds to get this kind of stuff.
Well, he already had the property when they discovered that when fracking was invented, and they discovered they had gas underground there. And so they started drilling in about 1995.
Had the property when
and
fracking was invented.
to be self-sufficient.
But do we know what kind?
You know, I was thinking like this shit came out like maybe like 50s, 100 years ago. What the fuck? That shit is recent.
To buy this? Do you know if it was church funds or otherwise?
I was really like
He raised funds for
20 years
Bible
off
capital of the world
from seeing a whole
in the
lot of shit
70s.
get made.
Purchased the property. He says he got it for a steal. He flew over the property when he was flying back from Oklahoma and said God told him that's going to be your property. And they discovered oil on it after they owned it.
I heard the Lord. I was looking across.
After.
I heard the
It's
Lord
crazy.
say, "See that
It's like
tree
they
right
knew
over
somehow.
there?" I said, "Yes, sir."
If you're looking at it from his point of view, God surprised him with the oil. Why not use it, right?
Right.
Anything to add to this oil kingdom we see behind us?
Typically, when you have a nonprofit organization with drilling like this occurring on the land, it would be considered unrelated business income because oil drilling has nothing to do with the ministry of the nonprofit organization. There's a form called a 990T for unrelated business income. It would typically be reported and taxed, but there's a crazy loophole in the law. If the property's paid for, they do not have to report it as unrelated business income.
If we were to look at all the people that have lived since
So
biblical
he's not getting
times
taxed on
to
oil
now,
money either?
Kenneth Copeland would be in the top 0.00001% of lavish livers. I mean, there's kings that didn't even live like he does today.
And he uses those scriptures about Solomon, the riches of Solomon, to justify his wealth.
What if it's that same guy as yesterday just comes out and just starts firing?
I think that's the same. That's the same truck.
That's the same truck. Is it?
There's a helicopter right there.
Look at that. Hey, Kenneth! We need some answers! If you could speak directly to Kenneth,
That's
what would you
crazy.
tell him?
I tell them, pay your fair share of taxes and get out of politics.
Our goal was to storm Kenneth's private jet hangar and climb aboard his luxury aircraft. So we tracked down the place where his jets were
Them
stored.
niggas trying
This
to
is
die. What the
next.
fuck?
We found out that Kenneth Copeland is not using his own tarmac to store his jets, but he's using this one right up here. So we're gonna see if we can find a way
So why the fuck is he using a different tarmac?
to see what his jets look like. You ready for a mission?
Yeah, we're at the Alliance Airport. There's a private hangar over here that holds Copeland's jet. And then whenever his buddies fly in on their private jets, they're all just racked against this fence line.
This is the place where the famous TikTok clip about Kenneth Copeland speaking like a demon to that lady, this is the famous area.
Since he got a bigger plane,
This was
his
that
main
place?
plane can't land on that small of a runway anymore.
Oh.
So he had to move here.
What we're looking at right now is something that very few people in their life will ever even get access to. We're looking at a private airport. This is where the ultra wealthy fly out of. And the thing is, some of those people here at this airport are megachurch pastors. Jesus told people to go out and sacrifice, to go out and give into the people, to go out and struggle and suffer. He had disciples that were on the road preaching that got persecuted, that got killed for spreading the message, living in great discomfort, living a life of sacrifice, living a life that they gave up everything they had for Jesus. You guys tell me in the comments, does that fly with you?
I'm not gonna lie, I was not listening to anything that nigga just said. It went in one ear and right out the other.
Check this out. Check this out. Look what we got here. First parking space next to the door. EMIC, Eagle Mountain International Church. So this is where his fancy.
God damn, this nigga get the first fucking parking spot.
They paid a premium for this spot. How do you people give money to this man? I don't get it. I really don't. The question that comes to my mind is how in God's green earth does someone rationalize making almost $1 billion off the backs of their donors and their own church members when there are so many real issues in the world? Hunger, education, housing, mental health. That's what a church is supposed to do, is to help the community. But instead we have this son of a bitch who is just racking up the income. Again, I'm not calling his members stupid, but I don't understand it. How does it feel speaking right now? And would you say there is a climate of fear to speak out against Kenneth Copeland?
I mean, I'm scared, but I also, that's just how I was raised, and I feel like it's breaking that tie.
Is there a real fear that someone would come after you for speaking out against him?
Potentially.
What is it that you want the people to walk away with after they see this episode on Kenneth, but also the bigger problem of misappropriation of funds within the church community?
There's a lot of issues in the system, in the religious system in America, but it has all the tools it needs to fix a lot of things too. American Christians are the most generous givers in the world per capita. They give more away to charity than anybody else. So that means that the Christian church has more resources than anybody else. It has more time than anybody else. So here's the crazy part. If reform was brought into the religious sector in America with these religious exemptions, the Christian church has enough resources, just if we stopped most of the theft in churches, to solve the top 30 global social issues, and it would affect no one's bottom line. You could change the world tomorrow.
The Apostle Paul makes an interesting statement in 2 Timothy 3, verse 13. He says that evil men and impostors will grow from bad to worse, deceiving and being deceived. Both of those dynamics can be at work in the same person. Kenneth Copeland is actively deceiving people. He knows that he has given many, many false prophecies. I would tell Kenneth Copeland to repent. I would say to Kenneth Copeland, Kenneth, I don't hate you, but I do hate what you do.
But if I could say one thing to Kenneth Copeland, it would be, dude, the church should be the most accountable, transparent organization in the world. It is the literal, arbiter and voice of Jesus, or the manifested voice of that. And instead, it's the darkest, shadiest sector in the entire economy.
Folks, as you probably know, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what
Video got a lot of information,
churches
a
and
decent amount of
pastors out
information.
there. And no one covers this better than Nate and his team at thereligionbusiness.com. And if you use my exclusive code,
They didn't expect you to pay for that shit? Fuck out of here. Anyways, W video. Let's hop into the game. Let's hop into some games. Fuck it. Let's see how good we do at CS at 4 o'clock in the morning. 4:18. 4:18. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Downloading content? What the fuck needs to download? I don't understand what the fuck need to download. Nothing should be needing to download. Let me change the categories. Change the category over here. On kick as well. This shit waited all fucking stream to pop up. All fucking stream. Don't mind that I only have 52 gigabytes for y'all. Don't worry about that. Try to get a dust map for the first game. Hopefully we get a dust map. If not, fuck it.
Let's roll.
God damn, they fucking rushed hard as hell. Pause.
Terrorists win.
Where the fuck it was a garage?
Bomb has been planted.
It's cool. I gotta clutch somehow, I guess. Where the fuck did I just get jumped up from? Three cones, anchors, a box of eyebrow pads.
Counter-terrorists win. Nice.
Type shit, I guess.
Let's have at it, mate.
Well, I'm damn near tired of dying, I'm not gonna lie. Second game of the day, I mean first game of the day is not going well.
Grenade out. Bomb has been planted.
What? Yo, my CS is not going too fucking well today. I just damn near should quit. Cause like, what the fuck is actually going on with me? Oh, 3. By the way, the rest of my teammates is 3 to 2.
Bomb has been planted. Laying down smoke. Defusing the bomb. Defusing. Counter-terrorists win. Good stuff.
Going 3 still. That's fucking fantastic.
Throwing flashbang. Throwing fire. Throwing a grenade.
They love that A.
Grenade out.
Maybe I misheard, but it sounded like it was behind. Why the fuck is there so many of them?
One of those.
Why the fuck was there so many of them?
Throwing flashbang. Incendiary out. Grenade out.
Bro, what is that jump that they're doing? What are we even supposed to do here at this point? There's too many of them.
I don't know.
We got it, even though there was a lot more of them. Yeah, I gotta lock in. I don't like this fucking game, bro.
Bruh, did you ever join the fucking CS group? I sent you an invite, man. Nah, yeah, I can't even hear your voice.
Yeah, this is terrible gameplay. Don't judge my gameplay.
Roger that. All right, all
Think hello.
Counter-terrorists win. Oh, it's a piece of cake, so it is.
Yeah, I need to get a kill. Come on, chop. You need to do something. You need to make myself useful towards this team. Because, like, currently, I'm not doing anything fucking useful.
Well, the good news is my smoke lineup works like a charm. The bad news is it hasn't really helped us.
Yeah, dude, that smoke lineup, that shit's perfect. You landed it one time, or wait? Okay, God, I'm retarded.
Deploying flashbang. Throwing fire. Flashbang. Throwing a grenade. Grenade out.
He knows a little bit too much of things he shouldn't know.
Terrorists win. Alright. We got that mess sorted out.
That was the worst I've ever done. 0-7, bro. What the fuck was that?
Went 2-8 like the whole fucking game.
0-7. I don't even know what to say. It's just embarrassing.
Let's roll.
Shit, where the fuck is sight? Walk around, come in here, cook some bots.
Going to explode. This is what we have been working for.
It's weird as fuck it makes us like play against bots. I'm trying to get this damn fucking game over.
Which bot did I fucking take over that had all them kills, huh? That's crazy while I was standing still. That deadass just pissed me off. Who killed me? I was legit standing still. This is upsetting. I was checking something for 1 second. I said, but I don't want to go. All right, fuck it. Everybody's getting kills with me, including the bot. Oh, that was A? I didn't even know you could plant there. Dumbass. What's going on? How you doing? How you say it? Elapse? Elapso? Is that how you say it? US agent. First game ass. Second game ass. How the fuck I go 1-1-1 against all bots? Don't even make sense. Damn, did everybody leave?
No more talking. Now we fight.
If everybody left, I'm about to just... It looks like everybody left. Going me to a different map. I just realized I was the only one who voted. I'm good, how are you? I just realized I was the only one who voted. And we still did get ancient. So how the fuck that work? At least I think I was the only one that voted.
Let's roll.
I'm like 95% sure. Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, that's good. 7-7. Did I choose the right team to join? Let's see. Stream going pretty decent. Stream going pretty decent. Not gonna lie, I am tired, but that's to be expected. It is 6. Picked the wrong team. It's 4:40 in the morning. Where I'm at right now.
GG.
Hell yeah. What time is it for you? Is it your favorite game? I don't know about necessarily favorite, but it's the game that I play the most. Just because I tend to stream like later in the day. So this is really the only game that has a player base that be on 24/7. Or at least so it feel like. I don't know what I'd say my favorite game would be. This crazy got fucking head tapped. Okay, that's a crazy angle. I stream consistently. Yeah, I stream consistently. I've been streaming pretty much every day for like the past year. About 320 days in. I don't think I've missed a day where I've like had a choice to miss a day. But like if it was like out of my control, then like I missed one. But I'm relatively new to Kick. I just started on Kick earlier this month. Think so. Appreciate that. How the fuck you get up there? What's that?
Deploying smoke shield.
I just got sprayed him. Fuck it. The fuck you just kill him out? It was up there. I have some graphics, but like they're mainly on my Twitch and stuff. I just haven't uploaded majority of that stuff to my Kick, but I still have it. Or at least the stuff that I feel is important anyways. Bro, his bitch ass was standing in front of me going left and right, trying to do some corny ass shit. And we couldn't even fucking, what's it called? I couldn't even get the kill off. Died because we got flanked through the tunnel. Every time I buy the SG, I mean not the SG, whatever the fuck it's called, I don't want your help. I'm fine growing naturally. And I already have graphics and everything else. Appreciate the offer though. Do we not have headphones? Nah, I'm good. I don't want to see it. Fuck he kill himself for?
Quiet down, let's listen. Stop talking.
As soon as I fucking walked in. That's crazy. I promise you, I don't give a fuck. My sister is literally a professional graphic designer. Her shit be on TV constantly. She worked for news channels. I promise you, your artwork will not impress me. I've worked with good streamers too. Then go work with them. I don't care. Like, if your artwork was really that good, would you be sitting here asking other streamers to work with you? No, you wouldn't. Have a nice one, though. Niggas don't understand no nowadays. Don't want your view, nor do I give a fuck about your view.